Hello, hello, welcome. You are at the final countdown, wrapping up your 2021. So if you are catching this live, just drop in the comments, say hey. I'm on my phone tonight, so I can see comments, but it's not as distracting as like on my laptop. So I'll try to get to all your comments as we go. But I tend to be like a squirrel sometimes. And so, I may not be there. So just tell me you're here. If you're catching the replay, let me know you're catching the replay. This is something I'm super excited about because so many of us are looking at the next 6 weeks and thinking, holy shit, there's only 6 weeks left in the year, right? And so we're like, all right, I have all these things to do. How am I going to get this all done? So we're going to talk about that tonight. And I'm totally out of order already. So here we go. If you don't know me, my name is Jenny Field. I am the creator of this group. I'm a life and business coach. And I am super passionate about what I do and super excited to be here and to be able to do it. Sherry Carlson, squirrels are so cute. Thanks, I'll be cute for you. All right, so as we get started tonight, these tips that I have are designed for anyone can benefit from them. I was thinking today, like, God, kids can benefit from them. Like sometimes I wish I knew all the things now, like when my kids were little, right? Because there's so many people that can benefit just from simple little tasks that we're going to talk about tonight. And then I'm going to finish up with some business tasks to help you wrap up the year as well. All right. The reason we're talking about it is, like I said, we tend to get out of control this time of year, right? Like it's exciting. I love the holidays. You either love them or you hate them, right? Because it's like manic and you can't stand that, or you love the hustle and bustle. I love the hustle and bustle. I love being busy, but I don't want to get swept up in all the things that aren't important to me, right? And that's something I think we tend to do. We get caught up in all the party-filled fun, all the shopping, everything that we think we have to do for other people. And I kind of want you to be on purpose like this holiday season. Like have a great time for yourself and your family and your friends, doing the things that you love to do, controlling the things that you can control, and being intentional and having focus. So, all right, how are we going to do that? We are going to start by going back to the beginning. So I want you to think back to January of this year. And I was sitting here as I was preparing for this thinking, January, freaking long time ago, right? Like I look at that and think that was so long ago. I don't even know what I was thinking. So in January, you set goals for yourself, right? We set New Year's resolutions. Some people call them intentions. We set goals. I want you to think back to those goals in January. I can see my vision board right here. So I wrote down those goals. What I want you to think about is you still have 6 weeks, right? The year's not over. You're not out of time. You have all the time that you need. What is something that's on that list that you can complete or get closer to, right? Don't leave things undone. Don't leave things on the table that you can absolutely do. Now, if you set out and your goal was, I'm going to exaggerate, right? Your goal was to make $1 million this year. Freaking awesome. But you've made 10,000. All right, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. But if you're close to your goal, bust your ass to get it, because how you're going to feel is going to outweigh that, right? So I'm going to ask you to commit to yourself to finding one goal that you know that you can still reach in the next 6 weeks. Is it finding 5 new customers? Is it signing 2 new clients? Is it meeting one-to-one with 5 people that can maybe build relationships with to benefit your business down the road? Like, what does that look like to you? I don't care what it is, but commit to yourself that you're going to do that. And I want you to write it down. I will drop in the comments when we're done tonight, I will drop the little freebie that I have so you can write it down, and it'll be kind of notes. So if you don't want to take notes, that's okay. I'll have them available for you. So I want you to jot that down. And I want you to think, what's the one thing? Commit to yourself, first of all. And then maybe tell somebody else. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. All right. What's one thing you've been putting off? Right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's something that's sticking right here that you're like, dang, I should have written that email. I should have called that prospect that scares me. I should have written my business plan, or I want to write a business plan for something I want to start next year. I should have booked that sales presentation, right? We have a laundry list of things that we should have done. Now, are those things important to you? If they are, then you need to do it. You need to do it. My motto for 2022 is do the damn thing. I was talking with my coach, and that's been my thing. Take action, do the damn thing. So I'm going to tell you or ask you to think about what's going to make you feel proud and accomplished come January. That you just did it. It doesn't have to be like this grandiose thing, but stop short changing yourself. Too often, we don't take ourselves seriously, right? Or if we do, like we do for a length of time, and then we're like, dang, well, that didn't really work out, so I'm going to move on over here. Or, oh, our brain gets in the way, and we're going to talk about that too. But I want you to make sure you're putting it all out, very much like before. So you're going to go back to the beginning and find that one goal, and then do the one thing that you've been putting off. I gave you a list, but it could be anything. So I want you to jot that down. And I looked at my notes and then lose my train of thought. That's awesome. All right. Now, the next thing is I want you to pretend like it's December 31st and you're reflecting back on the last year, right? What is something you wish you would have done? Like you're looking back, right? You're looking back over your year. The year's over. You can't go backwards. You can't rewind, as my friend Sarah says, but you can reset. What is something that's going to make you feel happiness and joy because you did it? Okay? It doesn't have to be this huge, grandiose thing. It can be really small. Is there somebody that you need to reach out to that you had a falling out with, or that you didn't leave things on good terms? Or you don't even have to go that far. Is it changing up your look? Something that you're like, oh, I should do this, but I'm afraid. Do it. I just want you to have that sense of accomplishment, because what we tend to do at the end of the year is reflect back on all the things that maybe didn't go right, or things that we should have done, or things that we left undone. Oh, well, I suck because I didn't do XYZ. And I want you to start to change those patterns. I want you to start looking for the things that you can do that do make you feel good. And it's the small steps that get you to the big things. When you have large goals and we can break them down, if you break them down into bite-sized pieces, it's a lot easier to handle. And so some things you're absolutely going to be able to do. And some things, maybe not, but you sure as hell can get a really good head start, right? You can finish up further ahead than you are right now. So that is something I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on finding happiness and joy in this year and finishing out that way, and not in pain and disappointment and regret. Okay. On December 16th at 10 a.m., I will be back here and we'll be talking about how to jumpstart your new year. So I'm going to be giving you tips on how to do that. But we're going to cruise right along. And I had timed this out at about 30 minutes because I know that we can't sit that long. Okay, set yourself up for success. How you finish your year, how you finish this year is how you start your next year. And it's all about momentum. So I want you to decide, like you could decide today, Thursday maybe, they're like, ooh, you know what? I'm going to let off the gas. Like, I'm just going to kind of sit back and slide through the rest of the year. I've got a lot of things going on. I don't have time to exercise. Who cares what I eat? It's the holidays. We all know the average person gains 7 to 10 pounds through the holidays. That doesn't have to be us, right? We can make other choices by still doing everything that we want to do, which I feel is super important. So you can either choose to give in to the holiday mode, right? Or you can use it as the starting point. So what I want you to picture is whatever your goal is, whether it's in your business, in your personal life, whatever it is, you are going to be pushing a rock uphill, right? and you're pushing and you're pushing. Your legs are tired, your arms are tired, you're frustrated, the rock is freaking heavy, and you're gonna push. So you're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing. And we're at the 6-week mark. So we're about this far from the top. And you decide, yeah, I'm just gonna slide. So that rock slides all the way back down to the bottom. And January 1, you think you're going to pick it back up and push and push and push and push and push. Woo, my light went off. Okay, well, sorry. And push, and you hit the top, and then it's going to roll downhill. So you have momentum to carry you in to the new year. And that's what's the most exciting thing is. Just stop and think about sitting there on January 1 and being like, oh, I've got some momentum. I've kept some good habits in place. I'm not starting 10 pounds heavier because I know that then you're upset with yourself. You feel like crap. Like there's just a lot of things that you can keep doing that don't mean you have to give things up. I am the first person to tell you, enjoy time with your family and friends. Absolutely. If you run a business, I'm going to give you some tips in a little bit to kind of consolidate how that looks and what that's going to look like for you going forward and how to keep that momentum. Enjoy your goodies. If you're a sweets person, enjoy them. You guys, between now and December, you probably have like 6 holiday meals, right? Like you have 6 different things maybe going on, maybe a couple more, but you don't have to eat like shit at every meal. And if you can stay on track, then you're going to feel better. If you can move, it doesn't mean that you have to go out for 2-hour workouts or 45 minutes or whatever. It means just moving and, parking further away when you go shopping. Just silly little things that you all know, but they will make a difference for you. Enjoy your Hallmark movies. Heck yeah. I'm going to watch movies. I've been watching movies all weekend. The other thing is the time that we think it takes to do things doesn't take that long. Right before I came on here, I was thinking, oh, my whole family's coming. My basement's a disaster. So most of you know, I have cadets that live in my basement. And I had to go strip all the beds. So strip 3 bedrooms, clean the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, I'll do it tomorrow morning. Like it's just going to take too long. I went downstairs and in 35 minutes, I dusted, vacuumed 3 bedrooms, stripped all the sheets, and cleaned the bathroom. So I was like, holy cow. Things don't take as long as you think they do. So do the little things so you can enjoy the other things. Do all of them, but do not stop pushing towards your goal. Give yourself a strong finish that you deserve so you can show up like feeling great about yourself January 1 as you launch into the new year. I also feel like 2020 was kind of a blur, right? And then 2021 was a little bit better, but it's still kind of weird. So I'm hoping that 2022 is going to be that turning point for all of us. Flip the switch on your thinking. This is probably the most important thing. It's what's holding you back. So I want you to really take some time and think about what holds you back. Is it self-doubt? Is it fear? Is it beliefs? Things that you were told as you were growing up, things that you were told at school. There's things that get stuck in your head that rear up at weird times. So I want you to think about that. I'm here to tell you that everyone's brain is a complete asshole. You're not alone. Everyone. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter how successful they are. Everyone's brain is an ass. And it gets in there and it starts just chipping away and telling you all the things that you can't do or all the reasons why you can't do something. And you have to shut it down. And it's a daily process sometimes. Like if you're in the thick of it, it's a daily process. And so you need to learn to combat that with some daily things. So what I'm going to suggest is committing to addressing your thoughts is to grab a piece of paper and do a brain dump. I never really thought about it, writing things down. And what I have found is that brain dumping, whatever it is, like frees up space in your brain. Like it allows you to process through things. So grab a piece of paper and brain dump how you feel about you, how you feel about your business, how your business is going to look in 5 years, how your future is going to look in 5 years. What things do you want? Like you can make list after list after list. And if you're somebody who's like, hey, I need some journal prompts. Like I would love to do this, but I don't know where to start. Just let me know, drop it in the comments, send me a DM. I can get you a list of journal prompts. You can go on Pinterest and find journal prompts. But what I have found is that when I start to get things out of my head, I no longer have to think about them as much. It's like creating a to-do list, right? So you create your to-do list and it's on a piece of paper so it's not clogged up in here, spinning around, right? In that vortex of, oh my God, all the things I have to do, because we all do that. The other thing is, like, there's things you may be thinking about. It's the holidays. So you may be meeting with family and you may be thinking, oh, for some people that's great and fantastic. And for other people, it's not. So dump those negative thoughts so that you can go into it feeling a little bit freer. Okay? You can't change people. You don't need to worry about changing people. All you need to do is to look out for yourself. All right. Identify what is driving you nuts. I was thinking about this because I walk by my pantry all the time and I'm like, oh my God, it drives me nuts. It's like disorganized. It's my disorganized, but it's disorganized. It's a mess. You can't walk into the corner. Like it drives me insane. Okay. I'm going to tell you just to do something about it, right? Because we carry on this junk to the new year. We carry it with us when it's simple things that we just need to schedule the time to do it. So I want you to think about that. Is it a closet? Like, do you walk into your bedroom and look at your closet and think, oh my gosh? Do you walk into a room in your house and think, I can't deal with this? And know that you can't change other people. My husband is, he's a hoarder. Not horrible, but he likes to keep things. I like to get rid of things. That's why we're married. But things that drive you nuts, your office. How does your office make you feel? If you work and you walk into your office and it is complete freaking chaos, your brain can't function. I guarantee you that. So just spend the time to clean it up. Make the appointment that you need to make. Read the book that you've been meaning to read. Deep clean the house. Book a trip that you've been meaning to take. Whatever that is, you need to get it off your list or decide it's not important anymore and take it off your list that way. Because I had a list for a long time of things that I thought were important to me. And then when I looked back, I was like, yeah, I really don't care about that. I don't care about that anymore. And it was a relief just to take it off the list. As women, we carry around this uber large to-do list. And you need to reevaluate it, because if it's not important to you now, ixnay it and it can go. But if it is, or it's something that drives you nuts, take care of it. I'm going to challenge you to commit to yourself to take care of it, and take care of it on a certain date and write it down and show up and just get it done. I'll share my story with you. So some of you may have seen this post, maybe not. But here we go. I didn't want to get my stuff out of order. I have been thinking about a tummy tuck for years, 22 years, since my daughter was 1 or 2. And I hate my stomach, everything about it. I cry about it. My self-talk is horrible. I can't stand it. I've tried to work through it. I've tried all the acceptance things. I started working with a mind and body coach just to get my head on straight. And finally she called me out and she goes, what if calling for a consult is what self-love is to you? And that's what you need to do. And I was like, because in my head, it was selfish. It was selfish for me to want that, because that's just not what my people do, right? It's just not something that would ever be done in my family. And so I was sitting on that call with her, and it was a group coaching, and I pulled out my computer and I knew the doctor that I wanted to go to, and I booked the consult right then and there, because I was so afraid to book it for so many reasons. But the minute I did, a weight was completely lifted. Like, I felt lighter. My self-talk has changed. My everything. My demeanor has changed. And I really attribute to her just saying, you know what? That is self-love. Even though it feels a little selfish, it's totally not. And who is anybody else to decide that, right? Nobody else's damn business but mine. But I needed somebody else to call me out and say, yo, that's not right. So do the thing that drives you nuts. Make sure that you take care of you. And it doesn't matter what it is, big or small. All right. The next thing is stop it. Just stop some bad habits. You know, we create really good habits. I feel like some of us, most of us, are really good at implementing good habits. What is something you want to stop? Really think about that. What is something you want to stop? Don't choose 10 things. Don't think, oh, I'm going to choose all these 10 things and I'm going to get really good at it. And don't think of it as like Lent when you're giving something up, right? Because you go back to it. So what is something you really want to stop doing? Is it your self-talk? Is it berating yourself or looking at your past and thinking that's what's going to happen next? Really delve into what you want to stop. Choose one thing, get good at not doing it, and then you can add another, right? It's just creating a good habit, stopping a bad habit, and replacing it, but layering that. You don't have to choose 10 things because that's overwhelming. Nobody wants to stop doing 10 things. We build habits also based around the people and the environment that we have. So think about, I don't know, if any of you have ever worked in an office, I'm looking to see who's here. Yes, I think you guys have worked in an office space, right? Like you've had a communal table at the office where people bring in snacks or they, you know, things are dumped. Like when I worked in an office, I took all the crap from my house that I didn't want, candy, if we had baked goods, like all of that, and I would dump them on the communal table. Well, then everybody takes them. So what we're in the habit of doing, right, is you walk by and you take some candy this time and you take some candy that time, or you know, get a pastry, like whatever that is. Those are just habits and things that we want to choose to stop. So make it something you really want that's easy to do. You're a product of your environment. So if it's something that you do in your environment, if you have baked goods out because it's the holidays, right? And so you bake cookies and you put them out for your family to enjoy. And then you walk into the kitchen and you grab a cookie. No big deal. And then, 3 or 4 hours later, you grab another cookie, no big deal. It's a product of your environment. And so I'm just going to challenge you to look at your environment and see, is there something there that can change so you can stop a habit? I'm not the person that says, oh, you should go take everything out of your house that creates a problem. No, not going to happen. But create or stop that bad habit. For me, for years, I tried to stop swearing. It was my thing. Like I tried and tried. I had a swear jar. My kids got rich. Like I thought, oh, I need to stop swearing. You know what? I didn't want to stop swearing. It's who I am. It's part of who I am. It's just what it is, and it's one of those things where I didn't really want to stop. So I didn't. So don't choose something you don't really want to do. Choose something that is important to you to stop. If you're going to stop something, make sure it counts. Like whatever it is. I'm going to challenge you really to look at like how you treat yourself. That's where I really want you to choose to look at, because we play those little games in our head and we're mean to ourselves. We're the mean girls, right? You have a mean girl in your head. She needs to get in the back seat. Shut the hell up. She's along for the ride, but she can't drive anymore. So those are the things I want you to think about. Okay, I went in a huge circle there about habits and stopping and all kinds of things. The other thing is relax. Oh, how do you stop being so hard on yourself? It's a really good question. I feel like we all do it, not just women. I think men do it too. I don't think men do it as much because I think they're just like, whatever. I I think you have to look at why you do it. Was it part of your upbringing? Is it something where you raised with perfectionism? Did somebody say something to you at some point that really stuck, that you weren't good enough or you weren't worthy of something? Those things get played on repeat in your head, and it's like it just goes and goes. So when something goes wrong, or you feel like you didn't do something as well as you could have, whatever that is, then you start to buy into it, right? Sherry, are you saying it's impossible not to be so hard on yourself? Or are you saying, tell me what you mean by impossible, that it's impossible to stop? And then insecurities. Yeah, we all have them. You guys, we all have them. We've all been told our whole entire lives by well-meaning people, our parents that loved us, our grandparents, family around us, teachers, people at school, right? Their job was to try and protect us and to make you feel safe. So your brain does the same thing. It wants you to keep you in this safe little comfort zone. It wants you to stay here. And it wants you to not feel the fear, right? Because it's uncomfortable and it's scary and it's something new. And we get caught here, and we have to push through whatever that looks like. We have to dig deep and hard. It's hard. I have found, I've tried, if I won't succeed with my goals unless I succeed. It is really hard. And we could play it on repeat, guys, right? Like, you could look back and say, like, wow, I've been doing XYZ for this many years and I've never hit my goal, and so I suck. And it doesn't matter what that goal is. Or, ooh, you probably shouldn't do that because it's kind of scary. Like, are you sure you probably won't succeed? Why would you want to start a business? Like, most businesses fail in the first 3 years. That's the kind of stuff that gets stuck in here. And here's the deal. That is one of the things where I have found working with somebody that calls you out on your BS. And sometimes it's not what you say, it's in how you say something that it gets caught, that you're like, dang. So I think working through it, deciding where you want to go with that is part of that. And it's something else that we're going to look at in the section 2 of this on December 16th. The Jumpstart, we'll delve into that too. But I think it's realizing what your beliefs are and why you have them, and writing down, like, I forgive mom and dad for telling me I couldn't do this, or I forgive my husband for not believing in me, or I forgive, like, whatever that is. And then why, like, dump it out, write it out. I will tell you, pen to paper is where all the magic happens. And it's a brain-hand connection. I haven't studied it. I don't know, but I know it's there because I have felt it. When you write it, it's like, holy cow, you may write some things that you never ever want somebody else to see. I've done it. I've written some things that I just needed to purge, that I never wanted somebody to accidentally pick up my journal or pick something up. You guys, I burn them. I take stuff and I burn it, or I shred it. And if it's things that are really stuck in your head, that are really negative, burning them and watching them go up in smoke is huge, huge to your mentality and what that looks like and what that feels like for you. So just start writing, and start there and watching other things happen. All right. Did I answer your questions? There's so much more, and I know that, so we'll just keep digging. Got to peel back the onion a little layer at a time. The next thing, the number 8 tip is just relax. We forget to relax because we're moms and we're wives and we work and we do all the things. We're juggling all the things all the time, right? We juggle everything. And we get all caught up in what somebody else is doing, especially not even especially this time of year. I think all the time. Social media, I think, is a blessing and a curse all at the same time, because It's how we can connect with people. I'm going to encourage you too to get belly to belly with people, get out and meet with people, because that's where real connections, I think, happen. But we forget to relax. Like, we're comparing our crap, like what we see as our total shit, to somebody else's highlight reel. And let me tell you, every single person on social media that has this beautiful picture perfect everything is not picture perfect. It's not. And how do you get out of comparing yourself to other people? You know, you got to realize, you got to like yourself enough to know, like, you know what? These are my good qualities. These are the things that only I can bring to people, right? I believe your goals chose you. Yes, they came to you for whatever reason, because you are the one that can uniquely make them happen. Only you, right? I'm not Amy. I can't do what Amy does. I can't do what Rocky does. I can't do what any of you do. I can't do what Joy does, what Sherry does. No way. But you know what? You can't do it the way I do either. And that's what makes us so special and so different. And so I want you to really focus on why people love you. Why are your customers or your clients or people coming to you? What do they come to you for? That's a great thing to list out. What do people come to me for? You're going to find your hidden strengths. You're going to find, I knew that I was meant to be a coach. I worked in the high school athletic department, and I had coaches, students, parents, come and sit in my office and just sit there and talk and spill everything all the time. So I knew that I was a safe place and that I could start asking questions to make people think outside that box. I just didn't know at the time that I could make a living at it. And so you just need to know, what do people come to you for? They come to you for all kinds of things. What do they come to you for and why? Relaxing looks different to all of us, right? We get so caught up. Get off social media. Do a social media detox. In fact, in December, I'm going to share with you a social media detox. And I have that all prepared out. So just stop. And if you find yourself comparing yourself to certain people, right? Like, I know some of you are, quite a few of you are in network marketing, and like you find yourself comparing yourself to other people or how they do things or what they do. Unfollow. It's not mean. It's your sanity. Then you can focus on what you do well, because I promise you, somebody else is looking at what you're doing and thinking the exact same things. We don't tell people that, right? People put out posts or they say something and it's like brilliant and it affects you. And then we have a tendency to not respond to that because we're afraid. And so I'm just going to encourage you not to be afraid. Unfollow the people that make you feel insecure. Unfollow people that make you, and nobody can make you feel insecure. That's not what I'm saying. But if you like read something and you think, oh, wow, if only I could be like her, stop. Just stop. So use this holiday season to relax and recharge too. Like sit in the bathtub. I took a bath last night. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. Right? And I hardly ever do that. But go and sit in the tub. I'm a water person. So like that calms me. Play Christmas music at the top. You know, sing along at the top of your lungs. What brings you peace? Do you sleep well? Like, make sure you're getting enough sleep and really get the 7 to 8 hours. I know you may not need it all the time, but I will tell you that when you don't get enough sleep for an extended amount of time, you start to feel that, right? So you feel drugged down and out of it. Get your sleep. Relax. Watch movies. Spend time with people that make you happy. If people aren't making you happy, it's okay not to go. It's okay to say no. It's okay. You can make an excuse up, but you don't owe anybody an excuse. Your no is plenty good enough. So keep that in mind too. Go get a massage, get a facial, like just take care of you. Ask for that kind of stuff for Christmas, right? Like things that make you feel good. Practice gratitude. I know it's so easy and I know we get in good and bad habits. I was looking at my planner where I write my gratitudes, and I was like, oh, I skipped a couple days. Oh, set aside time just to write it down every day. What are you grateful for? You guys, some days it's like, ooh, my warm cup of coffee. And other days it's something profound. And then some days it's because it's sunny outside. It doesn't matter what you're thankful for. Just find things to be thankful for, because then it expands your horizon and you can find more and more things to be thankful for, right? So just find them and practice gratitude. Don't get worked up about things you can't control, especially this time of year. Especially, you know what? Do you like to decorate? Great, decorate. I have friends that if I compared myself to their decorating skills, good Lord, I would never invite a single solitary person to my house. Like, I have friends that are amazing. You know what? I'm going to put up a tree, hopefully. And I got out some decorations and my husband said, are you done? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's see if I feel like going down there and getting another box. Like, if it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. I do things for my kids because I don't get them every Christmas and I don't get to see them all that often. So yeah, if there's things that are important to them, yes, I'll absolutely do it. Right? Like, that's what moms do. But that's important to me and that makes me happy. So I want you to focus on that. So those are your 8 things. A lot of them are going to revolve around you working on you. And then let's talk about some business wrap up real quick. Going into the holidays, you want to finish up your goals and you want to have family time, and you need to. You absolutely, your family needs to know that they're more important than whatever's going on over here, right? You don't have to hit pause just because it's the holidays. You can keep trucking towards your goals. In fact, you want to, because remember, you're pushing that rock up the hill. You don't want to let it slide back down on you. You just want to keep pushing so you can tip it over. This is great because my light went out. Now I can barely see. There's plenty of light in here. Shift your hours so that you can maximize your family time. So if that means getting up a little earlier, going to bed a little later, remember, we tend to make things take way longer time than what they actually do. And we do because we're scrolling. Hours. You guys, I can lose hours a day scrolling on social media. That's freaking stupid. So, because I do it all the time and I'm always like, good God. So batch your work so you know what you're doing and you batch like things together. If you work on social media, schedule all your posts. You can schedule them all out for up to 30 days on Facebook. Decide what your channel is. You don't have to do all the channels either. So decide where you're going, where your people are, and just do that. Communicate with your family what your goals are so they know, and when you're going to work. Like, open those lines of communication. Hey, I'm going to be unavailable during these times. I tend to work better early in the morning. Like, I'm great if I get stuff done before 10. I'm golden. And that's when I choose to work, is between like 5 and 10. I usually get up, do a little bit of exercise, and then I start working because I want my days free to do other things. I talked about not having to create a perfect holiday. You don't have to do that. Do what you enjoy. Make sure your people know what your holiday schedule is, right? None of you should be on your phone working on Thanksgiving. Nobody. You know, Black Friday, hey, if you're going to work in the morning, do that. If you're going to go shopping with your family, do that. I love Black Friday shopping. I never buy a single solitary thing when I go out, but I love the hustle and bustle. I love that it starts to feel like the holidays, right? So, you know, we'll go out and look at Christmas lights. We've got some things planned that we're going to do when I will have 16 people here at my house. And by Monday, I'm going to be freaking exhausted, but it's okay. I never thought I would be so tired, but it's going to be great. So I factored in time that on Monday, I'm going to need a little recoup time because I am an introvert. Everybody is staying at my house. All the people that I love, and it's a lot, right? And so I know that on Monday I need to schedule time away. Make sure your people know when you'll be, like, set your office hours. You should have office hours anyway, but when you're going to handle emails over the holidays, what that looks like. There is no emergency. There is no sales emergency. Okay? We're not brain surgeons. We are not. So we can get through and we can deal with things a little bit later. Okay. So let your people know, let your family know. You are not a slave to technology. You don't have to be a slave to it. Be intentional. When you're intentional, you can achieve so much more with so much less time. And like I said, that's where you start scrolling or getting caught up. I'm like a squirrel. Like I told you earlier, I'm a squirrel. I head down a rabbit hole and then go down another one and think, oh, I need to go look at that. Set your time. On if you have an iPhone, they have that new focus feature. So I put mine on focus when I'm working, so I don't get text messages. I don't get phone calls during that time, so I'm not interrupted. And I don't allow myself to scroll. So I create any type of content, anything I want to do, any post, I create them in my notes, and then I go post them all at one time. Let's see. Nothing has to suffer during the holidays. Absolutely nothing. You just need to use consistency as the key. I believe that's the same for everything. Focus and plan. Add value. Give helpful tips to people, right? Give people tips without ever having to try and sell them anything. People want to connect with people, I think, now more than ever. And so just know that your next client, your next customers, they're in front of you. So when you're speaking to them, when you're want to say something to them, what do you want to say to them and why? You're the expert. So know, what do they want and need, and say it without ever having to sell a single solitary thing. Like I said earlier, decide on your channels, create a guide for people. Like, what if you created like just a quick little gift guide or recipes through the holidays, like quick, healthy recipes to get you through the craziness of the holidays that you in 30 minutes or less. You can just put those together. How about like, hey, let's have a accountability group through the holidays. So whether it's for business, whether it's for movement, drinking water. I don't like to focus on weight loss because I think that's horrible, just because I'm the person that can't ever seem to lose weight. So I don't look at the numbers, but find something where you can connect with other people. Be high touch. I put be high tough, but be high touch with people, right? Reach out to people. You don't have to promote anything about your business other than, hey, I want to get to know you. Like, tell me about you. Be high touch. Spend time with other humans. 30 minutes at a pop. Decide how many, like, hey, I'm going to reach out to 5 people this week and spend 30 minutes. Or if you've got an hour, so you're going to reach out to 2 people. It's powerful, powerful, powerful. Number 1, it teaches you how to listen. And it also teaches you how to ask questions. Guess what? When you start to ask questions, you start to know what people need and what they want. And I don't think that like you have to do anything spectacular through the holidays to get people to buy. You have to know that whatever you have is the greatest thing ever. Ever. And why? Why is it so great? And then people will want to be around you. So I'm going to challenge you I will put into the comments here the little freebie guide that has everything that I talked about and things that I want you to commit to. I want you to commit to yourself. That is the most important thing, because guys, it's so much easier to commit to everybody else. You guys will commit to your kids. You'll commit to your boss. You'll commit to your husband. You'll commit to your friends. You'll commit to other people around you. And when it comes to you, you're just like, yeah, well, I don't feel like it. Stop. The most important person you can commit to is you, because you're the only one that can control what's going on around with you. I would love to meet with any of you, talk with any of you. You guys know I do discovery calls. If you've ever thought, what is coaching? Why would I need it? Because that's what I thought. Like, I laughed. My husband and I kind of laughed when we were like, who would hire a coach? And then I realized my husband has been hiring consultants for years in his business. And I'm like, oh, it's the same thing, right? I needed somebody to help me get out of my own head. I'd been in my own head for a long time. I'm super positive. I am an overcomer. I'm an overachiever. And I thought, but let me tell you what, there was nothing like somebody else going, do you realize? And then all of a sudden this whole world of things opened up to me, and a whole world of things that I could get out of my head. So if you ever want to just click the button, do a little call we'll talk about whatever you want to. I don't ever want you to be afraid to get on a call, because I was scared to death. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I clicked a button with my coach, set up a call, canceled, because I didn't know what to expect, right? So it's you and me having a conversation, and it's having a conversation about what you want, right? And what that looks like, and what it's like to work together, because I know that's a lot of questions too, is like, oh, what does that look like? So you can always DM me if you have questions. I will always be honest with you. I will tell you everything. But I hope that this helped. I hope that you have some peace going into the holidays. I hope you spend some time reflecting on you. I hope that you take care of you. You do the holidays the way you want to and make it fun. And I will be back in December to do the next one, which is jump starting for the new year. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. So I will talk to you soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.